It's a big deal. It could have been that we wouldn't have had the problem we had.
A lot of people say that, sir.
If we had this done earlier. Thank you.
So finally, we're stopping the crazy bioweapons experiments. It's not research. There's experiments trying to figure out how to make stuff more deadly so that the Pentagon can then use it as a weapon. I want to share this with you because it just came out today. Jeffrey Sachs is now being quoted all over social media as saying that the COVID-19 virus was created at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. He says he's only 99% sure. Now, Jeffrey Sachs was the head of the Lancet study group about where the COVID virus came from. But I already showed you that the former head of the CDC, Redfield, already said it was Ralph Baric at the University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill, most likely that created this virus. So it wasn't created in Wuhan. It was actually here. And I've had people come to my shows and tell me that. Well, so the problem is they said Barack Obama stopped that gain of function, but he didn't.
Yeah.
Here it is. It says in 2014, the federal government put a moratorium, federal government, meaning Barack Obama, put a moratorium on some gain of function research, but Barrick's work was not banned.
I mean, how many ways can the government tell you that they hate you and want you to die, and they're going to lie to you at every step of your life, and they're going to do nothing for you, but only harm
But don't listen to the experts. Don't do your own research. Trust science. Be a moron. Don't think for yourself. Don't ever question authority. Do as the man on the TV says. That's all things I heard from comedians, which makes me embarrassed to be a comedian.
Those are quotes. I know those are quotes, by the way. It sounds like you're being wry. Those are quotes.
Yes. So guess what? Donald Trump today, I'm pretty sure this is today, quote, double check me on the date, he has signed an executive order banning gain of function research. It's not research, it's experiments. It's crazy. It's psychopathic research that takes viruses and makes them more deadly and more transmissible. Why would you want to ever do that? Oh, because we want to create bioweapons.
Which I thought you're not supposed to do, but we're not signed on to any Geneva Convention.
So this is today.
Confirmed today.
So here it is today. Today being May 5th.
de Mayo.
Cinco de Mayo. Here you go.
The first relates to gain of function research. Gain of function research is a type of biomedical research where pathogens are adulterated, viruses are adulterated to make them more potent or to change the way that they function. Many people believe that gain of function research was one of the key causes of the COVID pandemic that struck us in the last decade. What this executive order does, first of all, it provides powerful new tools to enforce the ban on federal funding for gain of function research abroad. It also strengthens other oversight mechanisms related to that issue and creates an overarching strategy to ensure that biomedical research in general is being conducted safely and in a way that ultimately protects human health more.
It's a big deal. It could have been that we wouldn't have had the problem we had.
A lot of people say that, sir.
If we had this done earlier. Thank you.
So there you have it. So finally, we're stopping the crazy bioweapons, psychopathic, crazy scientists experiments. It's not research. There's experiments trying to figure out how to make stuff more deadly so that the Pentagon can then use it as a weapon. That's why Fauci was the guy funding this, because he was the head of the bioweapons division of DARPA, which is the Pentagon. And when did he get that job? Right after 9/11. That's why Fauci was the highest paid guy in all of government. And that's also why he got a blanket pardon going back to 2014, because the people who actually run this country are not politicians. The people who run this country are the donors, the people at the Pentagon, the war machine, Wall Street. Those are the people of Big Pharma. Those are the people who actually run this country. And when you see a session of Congress, those politicians aren't there doing the bidding of workers or students or voters or citizens or the elderly. They're doing the bidding of the people who actually run this country, the owners, as George Carlin put it, the owners of this country. And there's only a handful of them. There's only a handful of billionaires that own all the media. Like 15 billionaires have 6 companies that run every movie, TV show, radio show, newspaper in the country. So
wait. He goes, many people believe it was this research that caused COVID. That really sticks in my craw a little bit, Jimmy. You know what would be a great thing for Trump to do? Sign one of your world-famous executive orders to declassify everything relating to that, and then arrest the people responsible for the crime and give them one of those trials we gave Saddam and give them the same treatment we gave Saddam. That would be the right thing to do. Because what they're doing right now is, Trump was there when we pushed this stupid vaccine. He just learned about this just now. So, oh great, you signed it now after the soft kills were done. That's great. Is anybody going to be brought to justice for it? No.
Dr. Fauci, as you are aware, it is a crime to lie to Congress. Section 1001 of the U.S. Criminal Code creates a felony and a 5-year penalty for lying to Congress. On your last trip to our committee on May 11th, you stated that the NIH has not ever and does not now fund gain-of-function research in the Wuhan Institute of Virology. And yet, gain-of-function research was done entirely in the Wuhan Institute by Dr. Shi and was funded by the NIH. I'd like to ask unanimous consent to insert into the record the Wuhan virology paper entitled Discovery of a Rich Gene Pool of Bat SARS-Related Coronaviruses. Please deliver a copy of the journal article to Dr. Fauci. In this paper, Dr. Shi credits the NIH and lists the actual number of the grant that she was given by the NIH. In this paper, she took 2 bat coronavirus genes, spike genes, and combined them with a SARS-related backbone to create new viruses that are not found in nature. These lab-created viruses were then shown to replicate in humans. These experiments combine genetic information from different coronaviruses that infect animals but not humans to create novel artificial viruses able to infect human cells. Viruses that in nature only infect animals were manipulated in the Wuhan lab to gain the function of infecting humans. This research fits the definition of the research that the NIH said was subject to the pause in 2014 to 2017, a pause in funding on gain of function. But the NIH failed to recognize this, defines it away, and it never came under any scrutiny. Dr. Richard E. Bright, a molecular biologist from Rutgers, described this research in Wuhan as the Wuhan lab used NIH funding to construct novel chimeric SARS-related coronaviruses able to infect human cells and laboratory animals. This is high-risk research that creates new potential pandemic pathogens that exist only in the lab, not in nature. This research matches, these are Dr. E. Bright's words, this research matches, indeed epitomizes, the definition of gain-of-function research, done entirely in Wuhan, for which there was supposed to be a federal pause. Dr. Fauci, knowing that it is a crime to lie to Congress, do you wish to retract your statement of May 11th where you claimed that the NIH never funded gain-of-function research in Wuhan?
Microphone.
Your microphone.
Senator Paul, I have never lied before the Congress, and I do not retract that statement. This paper that you are referring to was judged by qualified staff up and down the chain as not being gain of function. What?
I like that, up and down the chain. What is that? That's talk about a complete made-up term that sounds authoritative. Up and down the chain. Up and down the chain. You mean up and down the chain of people you hired personally? And they owe their
co-conspirators.
And they owe, yeah, co-conspirators. Up and down the chain of co-conspirators.
That's what it means.
Yeah.
Let me finish.
You take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans.
Right.
You're saying that's not gain of function?
Yeah, that is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially. You do not know what you are talking about. Okay, you get one person.
Let's read from the NIH definition of gain of function. This is your definition that you guys wrote. It says that scientific research that increases the transmissibility among animals is gain of function. They took animal viruses that only occur in animals and they increased their transmissibility to humans. How you can say that is not gain of function?
It is not.
It's a dance, and you're dancing around this because you're trying to obscure responsibility for 4 million people dying around the world from a pandemic.
And let's let Dr. Fauci.
I have to, well, now you're getting into something. If the point that you are making is that the grant that was funded as a sub-award from EcoHealth to Wuhan created SARS-CoV-2, That's where you are getting. Let me finish.
We don't know.
Well,
we don't
wait
know
a
if
minute.
it did
I
come
can-
from the lab, but all
you-
the evidence is pointing that it came from the lab, and there will be responsibility for those who funded the lab, including yourself.
I totally
This committee
resent.
will allow the witness to
I
respond.
totally resent the lie that you are now propagating, Senator, because if you look at the virus,
Because it wasn't created at Wuhan. We created it right here at University of North Carolina, Chapel Hill. Hey, I'm getting older. I don't like to read. You could see it. Look at it at my hair. You could see it. And what the thing is, stuff starts to hurt for no reason as you get older. I wake up in the morning, and it's like, ow, my shoulder. What did I do last night? Oh, I waved goodbye. It's my own fault. Should have warmed up. Well, guess what? We have a thing called Qualia Senolytic. It's the first of its kind formula designed to help your body naturally eliminate senescent cells. What? Tell me more, Jimmy. Okay. Senolytics are a science field revolutionizing human aging. That's why I started out with that story. A big culprit behind the middle-aged feeling, which I have, can be senescent cells. AKA, they're called zombie cells that linger in your body after their useful function, wasting your energy and resources. The accumulation of zombie cells can lead to less energy, slower workout recovery, joint discomfort, and basically just feeling old. Here's how it works. You take the Qualia, you take it just 2 days a month, helping your body naturally eliminate zombie cells to age better at the cellular level. Experience the science of feeling younger. Go to quallife.com/Dore for up to 50% off your purchase and use code Dore for an additional 15% off. I'm not a math surgeon. That's 65% off. That's quallialife.com. That's QUALIALIFE.com/Dore for an extra 15% off your purchase. Your older self will thank you. And thanks to Qualia for sponsoring this episode. Come see us live in Los Angeles, Buffalo, Toledo, Montreal, Ottawa, Glasgow, Manchester, Belfast, Dublin, London, Liverpool, Birmingham. Go to jimmydore.com for a link for tickets.